All right, and now for our main client presentation today, Brad Boim is joining us from NFL Media to discuss how the NFL channel's post-production team has transitioned to remote post-production workflows. Brad, how are you, and how's your team doing operating remotely?
Thanks, Jeff. It's really great to be here today with you guys. We're doing well. We're very close to the start of the season, so there's a lot of things going on for us. We've been cranking away for the last 5 months, and we have a lot to look forward to. So things are going really well.
Awesome. It's always good to be safe in these unusual times. So, what was the tech challenge your team at NFL faced that brought you to look at BeBop as the solution?
Sure. The tech challenge really happened for everybody at the same time, right around the end of March. For us, it was about a year prior to that, where we connected with Michael and the rest of the BeBop team at NAB and started to look at BeBop as an offset for some of our on-prem workflows. We have a pretty large facility, so there's a lot of baked-in workflows we already had running, but we certainly knew that a cloud workflow would be a really great way for us to expand our capabilities outside of our facility, especially when it gets really busy. But I think when we hit late March and we shut down operations in our facility, we were in a really good position to scale up what we already had with BeBop. We had a smaller level infrastructure up and running, and we were able to sort of step on the gas at that point and really kind of widen it out.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always good to have a plan when you need one. So how did BeBop and Adobe help meet those particular challenges for you?
Immediately as we started to scale out to the cloud, we were able to scale as we needed to. So, we were trying to determine how much post-production we really were going to be able to do from home, because post really is related to the live productions that we're able to do as well. So, we had challenges on the live side just as much as the post-production side. But in some ways, we were maybe a little bit ahead of the curve, having the post-production environment up and running. So it really helped us support our productions as they were starting to figure out how they could do more live shows and do more live to tape shows, which we typically do more live programming. But we did shift into more of a live to tape approach, where we would tape earlier and then post produce so that we could account for all the delivery, ingress, egress coming up and down. So in combination with Adobe and BeBop, it's been a pretty successful run for the last 5 months.
Awesome. And everything seemed to happen really at the right calendar year for schedule. Patient process like once you decided you needed to hit the gas?
Once we were ready to go, it was pretty smooth. I think, the most difficult part for us was getting zero clients, because right when this all hit, it was almost like you were trying to buy toilet paper. Like, zero clients and toilet paper were equally in short supply. So our typical vendors that we would get that from were back ordered. So we had to kind of get a little creative at trying to find devices, because for us, we're working maybe a little uniquely. We're working in full high res up in BeBop. So everything we're doing, we're not working in proxy. We're working in ProRes LT. So we definitely need to be able to push 100 meg files around, and the zero client experience really makes a big difference for us to be able to work seamlessly like we would in our facility.
Very cool. Yeah, that zero client challenge at the beginning there, and everything was challenged there in March with supply chain. It was a bit of a mess. So how's the support been with BeBop and Adobe?
Support with Adobe has always been great, and that continues to be great. We're working with them right now on an ongoing basis as we go into the season. With BeBop, I think, the support for us, we've really scaled this out to a pretty large infrastructure in the cloud. So we're really, at this point, we're really more partnering with them on some of these initiatives as we're developing needs that are unique to us. We're working with the technical support folks at BeBop to try to build some technology solutions rather than just get support for the needs that are sort of like in a straight line within the platform. We're trying to come up with creative and unique ways for us to support the live sports production that we typically do. So I think from that level, the support has gone to sort of a next level with us, because we have a very open dialogue with multiple weekly cadences with the BeBop team, and it's all been very, very strong.
Excellent. Sounds like you've had some pretty good results. So what would you say the difference that BeBop has been able to make for your team as opposed to any other solution that you could have looked at?
A lot of it is the sort of ease of transition of getting people into what they're doing. Editors that don't know anything about cloud editing, this sounds complicated when you start to explain it to them. But once they get past the differences of what they're used to, it becomes second nature very quickly. So that part has transitioned pretty smoothly. I think one of the big benefits that's come out of this for us is the ability to geolocate editors that we maybe wouldn't have been able to use because we're very heavily on the freelance side for staffing. So we have editors working really outside of what you would consider a comfortable latency zone, and we've pushed it a little further than maybe on paper seemed to make sense. I have an editor working in Toronto, and he is not experiencing any latency issues. He's been there for 4 months, working 5 days a week. We've got folks in the Bay Area, Oregon, Colorado. So it's really allowed us to not only hire people that we couldn't hire because they're not local to Los Angeles, but a lot of our editors have actually, had the desire to get out of LA right now because of what's going on. So for them to be able to go maybe back with their family and still be able to work in a typical freelance mode for them, I think it's kind of the best of all possible worlds for employees and for us to have that talent pool that we can tap into. Makes sense. And
Anytime you can avoid a freeway commute and just walk down the hall, that's even better. So what do you see as the next thing for you guys in terms of your integration with BeBop? Where are you going to expand and deepen your use of the platform?
Sure. But the next thing's kind of happening in real time right now. We're scaling it out. We've made the commitment for the upcoming season to really push a lot of our workflows into the BeBop environment. So from where we were 5 months ago to where we are now, I don't think Michael could have really envisioned this either. This is definitely ballooned quite a bit. We're running 85 VMs right now across 2 different pods. We've got 120 terabytes of storage. We're running multiple workflows, whether it's editorial or the graphics department. So a lot of that expansion is part of like the month of August, where we're not going to just turn on 85 machines overnight. So we're doing it in some iterative ways. But every couple of days, we're getting more machines online. I would say within the next week or so, we'll have this entire ecosystem up and running. And then we just have to kind of, the season will be complicated for many reasons this year. So I think we have the technology solutions kind of laid out pretty well. We just have to kind of, sort of ebb and flow with the production needs and make sure that we can accommodate everybody.
Sounds good. We had a question come in from Andy. Are you pushing your entire MAM into the cloud so it can tie into BeBop, or only pushing media assets on a need-to-use model?
That's a great question. So we have multiple MAM systems on-prem and in the cloud. So our on-prem system is accessible via VPN, so folks can browse it remotely, and then we have automation workflows they can trigger to deliver from the building, from our facility to BeBop, which is used all the time, every day. We also have a huge sort of like our archive is in private cloud object storage. So we have another MAM that folks can go in to look for legacy content, run similar workflows to transfer things wherever they want. And then we're also using Frame as sort of a midpoint, which is very much a Swiss Army knife that serves a lot of different workflows for us. So there's no MAM or PAM running per se in the cloud, but we have MAMs running in various places that can deliver to the cloud.